Here's what Jeroboam did in verse 28. After seeking advice, the king made 2 golden calves, and he said to the people, let's just stop right there. Jeroboam left God out of the decision-making process. That's what Jeroboam did with his what if. With Jeroboam's fear, as he was torn between, do I have faith in God? Do I trust that God is going to do what he told me he was going to do? Or do I act on fear? As I'm torn between those, what does Jeroboam do? Jeroboam leaves God completely out of the process. He's like, God, I'm afraid. I got this one. Like, I'll handle this one, God. It's okay. Like, and some of us, and even myself, we're like, you know what, God? I can handle X, Y, and Z, but maybe you could handle A, B, and C over here. You know, like, well, I'll handle half of it, God. You can handle the other half, and together we make a great team. Like that's sometimes what I do. And Jeroboam's like, God, just take this situation off. I got this one. I got it, God. I don't need to consult you. I'm not going to go to you when I have the decision to make. When that fear is in the forefront of my mind, I got it, God. I can handle it myself. We're all good here. Listen, here's a biblical truth. I didn't have room in your outline to put it. You might want to flip over and write it down. Here it is. Ready? The longer you wait without consulting God, the greater the fear gets and the faster the fear spreads. Have you found that to be true? I've found that to be true. The longer I have a fear or a worry, and the longer I wait without consulting God, taking it to God, laying it before God, the bigger it gets, it begins to consume more than just a certain area of my life, and the faster it spreads to those areas. Look how fast Jeroboam goes from they're worshiping in another city to, oh my goodness, they're going to kill me. Like, it's a ridiculously fast pace. It's gone from just worship to his life. He's now being murdered. The longer we go without consulting God, the bigger the fear gets, and the faster it spreads throughout the other areas in the rest of our life. It's crazy. Here's what we need to do. Seek God first. Seek God first with the what ifs and the now ones. Don't run a bunch of scenarios. I have a habit of doing this. Don't run a bunch of scenarios and then take all the scenarios to God. Like, I do that. I have okay, option A, B, and C. God, what option do you want me to do? God's always like, do X, I'm like, I had A, B, and C. What's wrong with you? Don't figure it out and then take it to God and let God rework your plan. Like, I have a tendency to do that. None of this, I got this part, God, you take this part together. Like, we're not a good team. All right. Seek God first. 4 things under that really quickly I want to point out. I stole these from Larry Osborne because they're good. And I added one because it's good. But anyway, so here we go. Number 1, be specific. When you seek God, be specific. God, I'm afraid of what? God, I have this situation, what? God, my marriage is what? God, my spouse is what? God, my kids are, be specific. Don't be, God, I want your will to be done in this situation. Like, we're supposed to pray for God's will, but you can be specific with God. You can pray for a certain thing. All right? Be specific. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. Number 2, be thankful. Be thankful. Remember that what and that God has done in the past. All right? Remember what he's done for you already. Be thankful for the fact that last time you came to him, he answered that. Last time you came to him, he showed you what to do. Last time you came to him, he provided for you. He took care of you. He gave you counsel. Just be thankful. When you seek God first, be thankful. Be specific, be thankful. I added this one, be patient. That stinks. I don't like patience. I added it because I needed to hear it too. Like, I have an iPhone. I touch the button, I know the weather. I touch the button, I know who emailed me. I delete the email. I touch the button, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one touch away from anything I want in this world. And so are you, really. And the idea of being patient, it's the idea, especially in Psalm 145 there, that at the proper time. Like, God decides when the timing is. When God says it's time, then it's time. He decides the timing at his proper time. We need to be patient and wait for God's timing. So seek him first, but be patient. That's hard. And then the last one, be ready to repeat the process. Be ready to repeat the process. You feel the fear coming in, you feel it creeping in, you're sitting over your coffee in the morning, you're on the drive into work. Repeat the process. Repeat the process. Be specific, be thankful, be patient. And the second one that we need to do is seek God first, yes, but also seek godly counsel. Look, Jeroboam does a good thing. He seeks counsel. The problem is people who are asking are fools. biblically speaking. They don't know God and they don't know God's word. They're fools. He seeks counsel. That's a good move by him. He just asks a bunch of fools what to do. Look, the reality is that we have an elder board here. And the elder board, in my opinion, biblically, is for more than just running a church. If you look at our elder board, they've been through every stage of marriage, every stage of child rearing, every stage in the work world. They've been through being jobless, being without homes for a while, to being all these things. They've gone through business with excellence, without cheating, stealing, lying to get by. They're men of integrity. They're men of God. They're wise men. And we, and myself included, need to be going to them and asking for their counsel. When you have a tough situation, when you're in a pinch, when your marriage, when your finances, when your kids, when you're parenting, whatever, you can go to the elder board for more than just church stuff. They're wise counsel. They're wise men. And we should be seeking godly counsel. When those fears start to creep in, we should be seeking godly counsel. They're here for more than running the church. We also have small group leaders, and they're small group leaders because they're honest, they're men and women of integrity, they can pray for you, they know what to share and when to share it, they're there for you, they have years of experience. A lot of them are elders that have come off the elder board, so they're elders as well. In my opinion, they're still elders. Your small group leader is somebody you can go to seek godly counsel about a situation in your life. Look, if we're not receiving godly counsel, I hate to tell you this, but it's your fault for not going and getting it. There's godly counsel in your small group leader and in your elder board and even in some of your closest friends. Go get godly counsel. There's no reason not to. Seek God first. Seek godly counsel. Here's my problem, though, personally, right? Here's my problem. I go get the godly counsel, and then I assume that those are God's options. That's my problem. Because it's just easier to ask my dad, who I trust, who's an elder at another church, to ask the elders and say, hey, this is my situation. This is what I'm thinking through doing. What do you guys think? And they're all like, that's a great plan. And I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted to hear. Like, I have a great plan. It's just easier for me. I fall in the trap of seeking the godly counsel first and then going to God and saying, here's the godly counsel options. Pick one because they're from you. You know what I mean? So here's what happened in my life probably 3 years ago now. I was in line. Actually, I accepted. I didn't accept. I was offered a youth pastor position before any of this happened here. And I did what I do. I go seek godly counsel. So I asked the elders at my current church. I asked my dad. I asked people that I trusted and thought were wise people. And they all told me, this is great. Like, this is a great opportunity. You get into ministry, be the youth pastor. Like, you do the deal. You know, have some references. And I'm thinking the same thing, so I'm not putting it all on them. And so I take it, and I finally go to God, and God's like, no. And I'm like, this is great, God. What are you talking about? This is a great option. People have told me this is a great option. I've talked to my wife. I've talked to, again, everybody. God says no. And God really showed me that my heart was, I wanted to do this based on fear of providing for my family, fear of how am I ever going to get into ministry without something like this, fear of wanting to be in the ministry and afraid that I'm not going to have any contacts to get into ministry, that I'm not going to know who. It's all about who you know, right? So how am I going to do this, God? This is a great opportunity. It's real money. It's real benefits. Like, what's going on? Why no? Why no? And God just showed me, because it's out of fear. And God's like, I provide for you. You don't need this job. I'll get you in when it's time for you to get in. I know the people that I need to know to get you into ministry, so deal with that. Like, that God's just like, I got it covered. The answer is no, don't do it. So now I have a decision to make. We'll come back to it. Seek God first. Seek godly counsel. Let's move to verse 28. What else does Jeroboam do? Jeroboam has this fear, this what if fear. The now what fear. What does Jeroboam do with it? Verse 28. After seeking advice, the king made 2 golden calves, and he said to the people, it's too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Here are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt. Here's what Jeroboam does. He makes his decision, and then he focuses on justifying his actions. Jeroboam makes his decision, and then he focuses on justifying his actions. Look at that little phrase. I love this little phrase. It's too much.